Hey everybody, it's me, Luke Gaming. Well, Luke Tech Gaming for right now, where I do self homework and gaming at the same time. So I do apologize for the lag. It is what it is. Anyway, um, I don't use Google Hangouts very much, but I do want to say something about the best network in my area. So I found out Total Wireless worked just fine, smooth. Customer support great. They're kind of leaner a little bit, but I also checked out Total Wireless, Straight Talk, Verizon prepaid, postpaid, anything that's Verizon network singular will work in my area. Now, going to using Metro by T-Mobile or Metro PCS, whatever you want to call it, um, I just don't really use it very much. It's because of the service. Don't get me wrong, Metro is a good company and all that. They have great customer service and support, but when it comes to coverage, it's not the greatest. Now, if you're kind of poor on money and you don't have that much, what I would recommend, and if you have Verizon coverage, I would recommend Trap Phone. I know you'd only get a gigabyte of LTE, 500 gigabytes of LTE, and minutes talk and text. It's not really the greatest to use, but you got to do what you got to do to keep your service active. And you're like, oh, I need a job, and you're not working, and you're having like people call you, and you need for job interviews. Like I kept my phone on. I have to pay like at least $30 a month for talk and text, um, so I can get notified. So I'm going to be leaving Metro. I only use Metro by T-Mobile because one, you get free streaming, two, you get unlimited data, three, they come a lot of stuff. But it's just I went to Metro for a little bit, give them another try, but my phone continues to lag. Let me put this down a little bit. So this phone lags way too bad. Still kind of sick. The Alcatel 7, this is the phone I have right here. It's a little thumb printed. It's the Alcatel 7. I'm going to say it's a good phone to use, probably just not for heavy streaming, but to use it, the camera's great on it. It does lag a lot if you have a lot of apps. So I wouldn't recommend this phone for a daily use for an everyday thing. But if you're on a low budget, it's a $200 phone. I liked it. It's great. But Metro is not the greatest coverage where I'm starting going to be going now, because when I go to like outside in the country, I don't have no coverage whatsoever. I have to use Wi-Fi calling, which is the greatest. I mean, I can still make phone calls, but I would like to use my network. What's the point of having service when you can't use your network? So Wi-Fi, you're just using that router and that service. You're not using Metro at all. And a lot of people will disagree on me on that, but you know what? It is what it is. I mean, you're not using Metro service when you use the Wi-Fi calling. You're using, like, if I use Spectrum and I pay $30 a month, I use Spectrum internet. So when I connect it to my Wi-Fi right here on my phone, I'm using technically Verizon coverage. I'm using Spectrum's service. I'm not using Metro service, okay? The best network in my meal area is Verizon, period. That's because where I live out, like, sort of in town and sort of out of town, like in the middle of the country and town. I live a mile away from a tower. It's not the greatest coverage to use, depending what phone you have and where you live, because a lot of people judge about, oh, well, my phone don't work in that with that service. Well, because listen, for once, what I just said, depending where you live in your area. Don't just comment and go, "Oh, Metro doesn't work in my service in my area very well." Well, because you didn't watch the whole video. Okay, no offense. I'm just throwing that out there, not to be kind of a, a douche, pretty much. But I'm just telling you, it's not going to work in your area. That's why I would rather you call customer support. Um, and I heard this from another. I watched this YouTuber named CV Tech. He said that you have to check your service and the coverage where you live before you end up buying the purchase of the service you're going to use. Now, Cricket, if I use it in my house, it drops calls, it drops internet half the time. Metro, I cannot use. I do have a screen cover for this, but when I use Metro, I have to go outside to make a phone call, which is sad. Or I have to go in my garage just to make a phone call, because when I go in the house, I have to hook up the Wi-Fi calling because I'm using Spectrum service, because I have no good signal or HD quality on my phone. Now, using Metro by T-Mobile hasn't been the greatest. I will admit that when I text on my phone all day long, I have no problems whatsoever. So I'm giving that a thumbs up. I'm also saying calling on this phone, I'm going to have to give that a thumbs down. Because the reason why, because Metro needs to step up on something, is getting cell spots for people like that don't have greatest coverage in their area, just to boost that signal. When living a mile away from a tower, it's just terrible. It's not the greatest coverage. Now, AT&T or prepaid and Cricket Wireless, they have, a little bit better LTE than Metro does where I live. I get about 8 megabits down and 12 up, but depending on the time of day. Like if I'm outside, I'm pulling around not the greatest speeds in here. And here I pull about maybe 2 upload. Download, I probably pull, I don't know, maybe around 12, 15 download, but not the greatest. Sometimes 55 download. The download is not the issue, it's the upload speed. And paying for the service, you're paying like $60 a month and you're getting crappy upload speeds, shitty speeds. It's not the greatest. So what's the point of using the service? Then you're not getting full of it. I know, like it says, oh, we're going to slow you down during times getting congested or during presentation. I understand that because T-Mobile has full access before Metro has. We're the bottom of the list. But that's not necessarily true. So depending how many people are on that tower using the coverage, using the service, it all depends. It's a low budget. The reason why I go to Metro is because I save money a little bit. And if you're going to use Straight Talk, to be honest, after you hit that 55, that 60 amount, they can shut you off depending how hard you're on that data. Now, Verizon prepaid, I'm going to say this. After 22 gigs, yes, they slow your video quality down to 480p. You don't have HD quality anymore. Now, when I use Verizon prepaid, I get about 2, 1 up. Metro is a lot faster than them. The reason why I use Metro PCS is because their data is faster in my area, but not the greatest coverage. Now, I did get a email saying, oh, Sprint and T-Mobile, they're not going to merge. Well, because of that, I read it. They're not merging. They're not. They're going to see, they want Sprint to get a little more competition before they combine, okay? I'm going to explain about something about 5G as well. The 5G is not necessarily going to happen in our area, depending where you live. California is probably going to get it first. Texas is going to get it. Kind of like when 4G started out. So it's going to be in certain areas. Like if you drive down there, yes. Like if I drove to, let's see, like Texas is going to get it. So if I drone down to Texas and they have 5G, I'm going to use the service in that area only. And then when I leave, I switch back to 4G LTE. You're not really seeing a difference using 5G. It's just double basically what speed you're getting now. It's just faster. I mean, if you got to think about this, if you're using 5G, all right, let's just put this in a time phrase, and you have, let's say, 10 gigs of data, all right, and about 5 hours, let's say you're hard streaming on Netflix, in about 5 hours, your data is going to be gone. All right, and then they're going to throttle you down. Now, how are they going to work this when they throttle it down? Because 2G is not going to exist anymore. 3G is not going to exist anymore. So in Straight Talk, I think they need to, instead of 2G, I think they should maybe throttle you down to 4G, because 5G is going to be the new dimension eventually. So how's Straight Talk going to work around this? So I'm like, this is going to be interesting. So if we use 2G, your phone's not going to work. You're going to have to use Wi-Fi. So, and then Wi-Fi eventually switch up to 6G if it'll exist. But when are they going to call 5G instead of 4G LTE? Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going to have to hang up because I'm kind of busy right now. I'm going to end that right there for you guys. So thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and if you are new, and I turn my phone because it's copyright. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. And comment down below what you think.